Today we will talk about one of the most modern and technological cities of our planet. As you probably already guessed, we are talking about Tokyo, which is currently the largest city in the world by population. The modern capital of Japan is a separate prefecture. Population, which today has 38 million people. Just think about these numbers. For comparison, it's a little less than the population of the whole Ukraine, and more than the population of such states like Canada, Peru, or Uzbekistan. In terms of population density, this city also ranks first, and is for square meters per person. Cramped, isn't it? Economy: Japan, one of the largest economies in the world, and GDP 1. Only Tokyo is higher than GDP all and Australia. And I think no one will be surprised by the fact Tokyo is one of the most expensive cities in the world. They say the land here is so expensive that the cost of one sq.m real estate in the business center can go up to $2 million. And for a couple of hours parking your car cannot be counted. About 1,500 yen. It's roughly $14 US. At the same time, Tokyo will be one of the brightest and contrasting cities of the globe. Here in the shadow of endless concrete skyscrapers, you can suddenly find yourself in a lush garden with ponds, or in one of the many syntheistic sanctuaries, built in traditional style. Here in the busiest subway in the world, passenger flow which is kept at around 1 million people per day. And this is a little bit much, about 3 billion people a year. Worth adding as well that this wonderful city, located in one of the most seismological active regions, its residents. According to statistics, about 150 earthquakes are felt annually, but most of them are so insignificant that Japanese people don't pay much attention to it. You will be amazed by the cleanliness of Japanese streets and education of local residents. You will also be pleasantly surprised by the local cuisine with its fresh seafood mobile. Every inhabitant of our planet is simply obliged at least once to be in this city, and our task is to tell you about the most interesting places to visit. Get comfortable, let's go. And on the 10th place of our rating is located Imperial Palace, which is like UASIS, located in the heart of a bustling metropolis. This is a huge palace complex in traditional style. Has been destroyed many times in its history, contributed to this military bombing, fires, and even lightning strikes. The complex found its current appearance only in the second half 20th century on the territory of the Outer Eastern Gardens. You can get practically any time and completely free, but on a tour of the palace itself, must book a seat in advance in management. The imperial court by phone. Look at the lock from the inside, you will not succeed. It is the permanent residence of His Majesty, the Emperor, and his family. Shell, one of the brightest, noisy, and fun areas of the city. There was once a swamp in the place of this shopping quarter, and now it's the most expensive area by land value, which drowns in countless stores, shopping centers, nightclubs, and restaurants. This area is known for its first-class shopping. Almost all famous brands are represented here. Clothing manufacturer, cosmetics, and electronics. Leading design firm honors. It's an honor to have your stores in the area. Among the locals, it is considered very prestigious to spend your money here. Be prepared for that. The prices here are very high. Perhaps the most favorite place among Tokyo residents in general. Japanese people don't really like sitting at home, since their housing is quite cramped. This is where they tend on weekends, to have a picnic with family or friends, read a book in the shade of trees, or just take a leisurely walk. Also, school kids come here to meet flora of the native country. Visiting the park can take a whole day, since in its territory really, there's something to look at. Japan's oldest zoo, Buddhism temples, Shinto sanctuaries, many museums of national culture. If there is a possibility, it is best to visit this place in spring. During the cherry blossom period, there are over 2,000 of these beautiful trees. Who turned this one into a park? Truly fabulous place. Akihabara, this area is a real electronic mecca, with biggest electronics stores. There is literally everything here, from chargers to robot parts. An interesting fact is that the current e-commerce hub in the 40s, last century, names Fame District, where you could illegally sell or purchase electro. Parts can be bought here as new equipment and former use. Computer game lovers. Is the real gamer paradise here, with huge selection of old game cartridges and the oldest game consoles, from which you will drool and light up the blue screen. That's also, it's an iconic place for loyal anime and manga fans. The largest in the area. Specialized shops, stylized cafes and clubs, neighboring halls of endless slot machines. In general, everything makes noise here. Glows and flashes everything, like you love. Studio Ghibli's animated films have touched the hearts of millions of people around the world. Some of the most popular include My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, and Witch's Delivery Service. The Ghibli Museum brings the worlds of your favorite anime to life. The Ghibli Museum is located in Inokashira Park, approximately 40 minutes away from the center of Tokyo, from Shinjuku Station. Take the Junior Chuo line and get off at Mitaka Station. Then you can walk to the museum in 17 minutes or take one of the buses. A circular route, the other goes towards Myojo Gakuen. They are warm, touching. With deep subtext, this is how millions of fans respond to the cartoons of Studio Ghibli over the years. The studio and its famous director Hayao Miyazaki have gained fame around the world. People come to the Ghibli Museum to experience the magic of their favorite stories. Tokyo Disneyland. This is the first Disneyland, built outside the United States. Tokyo Disneyland is a whole city with its own infrastructure, which is visited annually by about 14 million people. It includes several hotels, largest shopping mall, and two amusement parks, Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea, which in turn divided into many different thematic areas. To dive into the dizzying, animated world of Mickey Mouse and his friends, experience the infinite, many exciting attractions. One day will clearly not be enough for you. We recommend at least 2 or 3 days, which can be reached in 30 to 40 minutes. Sanzedi Temple is Elder's Buddhist temple, built in the distant 7th century, dedicated to a goddess of mercy Kannon. This is the oldest temple in Tokyo. They say that during the Second World War, after the air attack, the building completely burned down. A few years later, a burnt tree, green sprouts dropped in the yard, and the temple as a symbol of rebirth and peace. Rebuilt are days, held annually on its territory. Many national festivals, a famous street, temple leading, has existed for several centuries. Before visiting the shrine, remember to undergo cleansing by washing your hands with sacred water and fumigating palm in the center of the yard. Tokyo Sky 3 is a 634 meters tall television tower, which ranks second in the world. In height, second only to the famous skyscraper Burj Khalifa. Tower has two observation platforms at a height of 350 and 450 meters. From this height, you will be able to fully appreciate the scale. Truly endless Japanese capital. Bodice of this engineering miracle. Architectural thought develops a speed of 600 meters. Permanent in the design of the tower is that she will withstand a magnitude 7 earthquake if the epicenter is right underneath her. Impressive, isn't it? At the base of the tower, there is a small themed town with its shopping mall, restaurants, to railway stations, and even a planetarium. If you want to get to it, you can even walk. You can see it from almost anywhere in the city. In second place, we have perhaps most cinematic place, Tokyo Crossroads Shibuya. Probably the most special and unique place of the city, its pulse. This intersection is considered the most congested on Earth because the pedestrian flow in this area can reach more than 1 million people a day, during peak hours as much as to 30. 1,000 people cross it in just 1 minute. The green traffic light is lit here, from 4 sides at once, but you can also cross it diagonally. You just have to plunge into the most organized human chaos during peak activity hours. There is also a bronze monument, world-famous dog Hachiko, as the standard of dog loyalty. Have you ever been to an island built out of garbage? No, then you have that opportunity. Some 25 years ago, there was a household waste dump at this place. Now the largest shopping complexes are located here. Hotel business centers, museums, and more. Worth noting that the island began its history much earlier, back in the 19th century. At this place were naval defensive fortifications, consequences sprinkled with recycled household waste. The scale of the island is really impressive, and to see all its diversity, need to spend a considerable amount of time. Special attention should be paid to such places as National Museum of Science Development Innovation Raiken, where you can learn about the latest achievements of science and get acquainted with the main exhibit of this museum, humanoid robot Izimu, Toyota Mega Web. Also worth noting is the showroom of Japanese Autogigant, where all the latest models of Toyota cars are presented. And in every car, you can't just sit down and inspect from the inside. Well, and take a test drive on the local highway true. With yourself necessary, have an international driving license. There is a historic garage nearby, where 50s 70s cars are on display. BTW. Entrance and visit of exhibitions is absolutely free. There is one of the largest on this island. In the world of Ferris wheels, diameter 115 meters, maritime museum in the form of a huge cruise ship, hot thermal springs, entertainment complex, country of pleasure, wax figures exhibition, Madame Tōkyō, sandy beaches, concert venues, and much more. What to say? There's even a Statue of Liberty in miniature here, a connects island with the rest of Tokyo famous Rainbow Bridge, on which the unmanned monorail train runs. Visiting Tokyo is all the same, being in another reality, which will remind of itself again and again. Fit everything unforgettable. Sights of this city in our rating, just impossible. You can share your interesting places in the comments. Also, you can offer us a city review, which you would like to see on our channel. With you had a suitcase rating. Before soon meetings, friends.